Back to us. Getting ready in the air is R.J. Grittner. He's going to get in position. They will then call in Hubie Tolson. Now, you may say, hey, Hubie Tolson, we've never heard that name at EAA. Well, I can tell you, Hubie Tolson was here before many of us. It was in a different capacity, and I'll explain what I mean by that. He learned to fly in New Bern, North Carolina, got all his license as a teenager, and he bought a 115 horsepower Citabria aircraft, and as he said, I was so dumb, I taught myself aerobatics, the worst thing I could have done. Well, you know, a lot of rebellious teenagers, they run away from home, and Hubie has a mind of his own, and he didn't run away from home, he flew away from home. Threw all his belongings in his airplane and just headed on a direction. He ended up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. We were having our air show. He stopped there, and he saw Captain Bill Barber, Professor Bob Lyjack, Captain Jim Menning, Eddie the Grip Green, our great stuntman, yours truly, Danny Clisham, and he found a home there. We took him in. He was a charming young guy. He had a lot of spirit. He was fun. And look at what he does to the Russian Sukhoi. He's giving it the red, white, and blue all-American dominance. So he has got a tremendous amount of experience in this aircraft and competition around the world, flying in some foreign countries, achieving gold, silver, and bronze medals several different times. At times, he was the only American to be invited to fly to some of those countries. We eventually, through Bob Lyjack, who had a couple of sons who were teenagers as well. Bob Lyjack was a great family man. He said, come to our house. You got to have a place to sleep in the spare bedroom, and you'll have meals with us. We eventually found this man, Hubie Tolson. He found him a job. Jimmy Menning lent him a convertible. One of our girlfriends lent him a motorcycle. We found him a job. There was a pilot boarding house in downtown Ypsilanti, Michigan, run by Mrs. Dashner. We secured him a room there, and the rent was $3 per day. Things got straightened out with his family life, but not before he came here. Get a load of the wingtip smoke and listen to the sound of that Russian radio. We brought him to EAA with us. He was so absolutely blown away by this place, and Paul Poberezny took him under his wing. He gave him a cot in a storage room in the EAA museum. Throughout the course of the day, he would volunteer to work for the EAA. Did that for about a month. Flew all the airplanes from Ann Arbor. Everybody lent him airplanes. We took him to air shows. We'd use his airplane for the comedy act. And here he is, coming back to EAA after 47 years. Give him a big round of applause. That is one heck of a story. He has excelled in international competition for years and years and years. As he goes to the vertical and checks out the blue, we call that the Woodbury maneuver. As he does the knife edge spin on the way down, he's going to conclude with an attempt, now I will say it's an attempt, to do what we call the silent Sukhoi. The Soviet bloc country pilots, competition and air show pilots that flew this aircraft, would conclude their act by pulling to the vertical, shutting off the engine, sliding backwards, and do an engine out landing with some aerobatic maneuvers. Now he's going to break and climb for a little bit more altitude. Let me tell you about some of his competition. Back in 2005, 5th overall Unlimited Air Show Freestyle World Aerobatic Championships in Spain. Silver medalist on the U.S. team in 2006. Gold medalist on our U.S. team in 2007. 3rd overall in the championships in 2008. Bronze medal again in 2008. Silver medal at another competition in 2008. a member of our elite and very limited U.S. aerobatic team 2004, 2005, again in 2008 and 2009. Silver medal recipient in the year 2009, fourth overall in 2009, and competed representing the United States of America in world competition in the United Kingdom in 2009, Spain in 2007, again in Spain in 2005. We hosted it in Lakeland, Florida in 2003. The only American to fly in a Formula Championship in Constanța, Romania, that was in 2008. Seoul, South Korea, the only American invitee in 2010. China in 2012, silver medalist, bronze medal, United Arab Emirates in 2011. Seoul, Korea in 2013. Korea again in 2014. General Aviation Forum in China 2016, and again back to China in 2016. Many of the times he was the lone American. So the signature maneuver that he's going to attempt to complete. Now, he said a lot of times it just doesn't take. When he briefed me, he said, if it doesn't do it correctly the first time, I'll go up and do it again. Now, it was a tradition to close out a routine by the Iron Block Country pilots. They're all retired. So, to our knowledge, this is the only Sukhoi 31 pilot still doing that. The reason? He started very young. By the way, things got settled in his family life back in New Bern, North Carolina, and he went on to run the family business. He was the third generation Tolson to run that business. So you'll be happy to know it had a happy ending. And again, why did we all take to him? Folks, we were all a bit rebellious as teenagers. We had a mind of our own. We were in aviation. And I think we all saw ourselves in Hubie Tolson. I know Bill Barber did. I know Jimmy Menning did. I know Bob Lyjak did, Eddie Green did, and yours truly, Danny Clisham did. And by all means, those people all performed here many, many years for the EAA. Listen to the sound of the engine. That's one of the appeals of Canadian and U.S. pilots who wanted to compete in this aircraft. Okay, let's listen to C. Music down, please. Looks like it took. Looks like the prop is stopped now.
Thank you, EAA! What about
Quiet in the cockpit.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Upside down. Looking down. Looking at himself. No power from the Sukhoi. And I can breathe easy. He rolled right side up. Looking down at the approach end of the runway. In comes the power again. The silent Sukhoi aerobatic maneuver. Give Hubie Tolson a big round of applause. Backed by popular demand in different circumstances at EAA. You may have seen in the pit area for the performers, in an area behind all of the Airbuses, you might have seen a red vehicle, kind of aged. Well, that was Tommy Poberezny's first car as a teenager. When Tom was done with it and was going to upgrade, Paul, his dad, Paul Poberezny, said, no, we're gonna keep it. They took out the back windshield, took off the trunk lid, and for years, including right now, because you have seen it driving around, it was the vehicle that we used to go to the airplanes and pump air show smoke into them. And by the way, who did that 47 years ago? The man who just flew for you. There are photos of him leaning up against that, or smoking an airplane, as we call it, as a very young teenager. You put your mind to something and you get good guidance. and a good break from a lot of people here at EAA and from the Ann Arbor Air Force, and you too can be a Hubie Tolson.